Chiefs completing a three-peat. Bears making a playoffs with their number 1 overall pick in Caleb Williams. Peter, there's a lot of wiggle room in this sliding scale. What direction do you take us first?
It's really hard to resist watching Hard Knocks and watching the preseason games and not just saying, well, the Bears are going to go to the Super Bowl also. Like, it has been a Bears commercial all summer long. Yeah. I have to, install restraint here, though, because there are questions with the Bears. This is a first-year quarterback with a coordinator he's never worked before, obviously, who is now installing an entirely new offense with a bunch of new guys, and there's all this different stuff you can talk about the Bears. The Chiefs? Well, the Chiefs played their starters in preseason last week, and they walked right up and down the field, and the Chiefs seem to just be finding new guys every single year. Can we talk about Carson Steele, who was at Ball State and then transferred over to UCLA, and now is an undrafted rookie free agent for the Kansas City Chiefs and is going to make this team? Kyle's absolutely right. He might be spelling Pacheco as the number 2 running back.
That's nuts.
And not just as a fullback. He carries the rock, and he does a fine job. And look, it's one thing to just have carries in the 3rd preseason game. It's another thing to do it all preseason, which he did. Then it's to get the attention of Mahomes. Look at Patrick Mahomes here on the sidelines. So excited. I'd like to go back to the footage and not come back to me because you got to see Mahomes.
He flexes.
Mahomes is flexing and is going all out. And it's like, where do they find these guys?
Good question.
How did Kansas City get this guy? It's almost like every other year. It's like, Pacheco's a 7th rounder.
Yep.
Trey Smith is a 6th rounder. Josh Williams is going to play a lot of corner, day 3 guy. Leo Chenal is going to be one of their stars on defense, day 3 guy. Justin Ross is probably going to have a role in the offense this year, and he's been waiting, day 3 guy. And now Carson Steele, undrafted. And I love how engaged Mahomes is. Mahomes could be just there, sitting on the sideline, talking to his wife, going to the sideline. Mahomes is out there flexing. I love the Bears. I love what they did this offseason. I don't know what's going to happen. They're in a really tough division, and there's a lot of rocky roads ahead for a rookie quarterback. Mahomes and the Chiefs, it's not just those guys. They find new players. Carson Steele, welcome to the squad.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's just real simple. I mean, the Chiefs are the team likely to make it to the Super Bowl. You got to have a lot of faith in the Chicago Bears. Like this division that you were just talking about, Peter, I mean, it's one that you have to really look at. The Detroit Lions, they ain't messing around. I mean, this is a really good team. The Green Bay Packers, they're a very good team. And then you've got the question marks, too. You said there were some questions. Well, what are those questions? First off, will Caleb Williams be able to last 17 weeks? Remember, he's a rookie, and I get it. He had the NIL money and all this. He's rich. He's famous. Hard Knocks. But 17 weeks ain't nothing to play around with. He will hit that proverbial rookie wall, maybe somewhere around 12 weeks into the season, and you start thinking, the dating scene is over, right? All that lust and glitter and all that stuff is over. What about old man Keenan Allen? I mean, can he stay healthy throughout the entire season? Those are some of the questions that I'm going to be looking at, that the supporting cast around Caleb, and if he's going to be able to keep that production up.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is just short and simple, okay? The Bears are stacked, okay? They got Caleb Williams, they got Moore, they got Swift, they got Allen, they got all these weapons. However, the one thing that they cannot change is the division that they are in. They got Green Bay in there, and they have Detroit Lions. When you got both of those dogs in there that you know are going to be in the playoffs, it's very rare that you get 3 teams from one division to go into the playoffs. On the flip side, Kansas City Chiefs, we already know who they are. As long as they have Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, and Andy Reid, those guys are going to be Super Bowl champions.
That's simple. They own real estate already in their division, Kyle. I know.
That was as fast as Xavier Worthy.
You like that?
Yeah, you sprinted through that like Xavier Worthy.
All right, so Chiefs win the Super Bowl or Bears just get to a wild card game. I'm going with the Bears get to a wild card game. Before everybody dumps on the Bears last year under Justin Fields won 7 games, okay? They also smoked the Lions in a game that was not competitive from start to finish. They finished the season 5-3. That roster is so good, and that defense is so good. It's just like if Caleb Williams is pretty good, I don't even need C.J. Stroud last year. I think they can get to 9 wins and get into the wild card game, maybe even 10 wins. If he's fantastic, sure, then you want to talk about 12, whatever. That's not even what this conversation is about. And I do think there will be 3 playoff teams from the NFC North. I think they're all very, very good. But the defense is going to carry this team early when Caleb is adapting. And then it's a buffet. That many things on the plate that the offense has to be good. I think it's a little bit, we're very excited and we like to see history and we'd love to see the Chiefs go 3 in a row. We've talked in great detail, Peter, on the show about there are seminal, iconic teams that keep their roster, keep their coaches, and they just can't do it. There is a reason in nearly 60 years that it hasn't happened in the Super Bowl era. I think, listen, the Chiefs get to the title game this year and lose, even get to the Super Bowl and lose. It's an amazing season. I think more likely the Bears tack on a couple more wins just to get to the wild card than the Chiefs actually finish a 3-peat.
Trying to think of a recent team that has a first overall pick and added all these coaches, and it's like this is going to be this right out of the gates. Do you foresee some rocky roads early and that they're going to be able to just get over that? Or is this like, hey, 7 teams from the NFC make it. They're one of those 7 teams.
I think
let's find a way.
I look at like the 2016 Cowboys. And it's Dak and Zeke, and it's Jason Garrett, who had been there, but we weren't so sure about him, and he's kind of an Eberflus, and they just had so much talent that they just took the league by storm. Now, they got to the playoffs and lost, and maybe the Bears will. I don't know if the Bears are going to be the 1 seed, but like I think they'll have that type of deal. And Dak wasn't even the first overall pick, not even close. I just think that would be the comp that's in modern history.
I like that.
Kyle, it's interesting when you look at the Bears, their build-up, the history of this team. Some people may have looked at this Hard Knocks and thought, between the teaser and the bump in and stuff, like, this is a hard-nosed, defensive-minded team. You have said, no, this team can go in a new direction. They have a rookie first overall pick quarterback. Are you feeling more comfortable with the personality that this team is displaying from getting to know Matt Eberflus a little bit better on Hard Knocks all the way down to just watching this team grow into their own?
Well, listen, the Eberflus question is big. And I know even people who are really, really involved with the Bears are like, the roster's amazing. We'll see what Flus is made of. And I think there's some coaches around the league like that this year. A lot of conversation about Robert Saleh there. You know, does he have it? But I would say this. We're about to end the preseason, and there's a federal mandate to talk about this every single year. The Bears went 4-0 in the preseason. The Chiefs went 0-3. The Lions team that went undefeated 15 years ago was undefeated in the preseason.
So did the Browns.
And the Browns. The 18-0 Patriots that almost had a perfect season lost every preseason game. So, Akbar and Isaiah, is there any correlation?
No!
Because the Chiefs just lost them all and the Bears just won them all. So should we just take anything from that?
No, not at all. No. There's so many different variables that goes into that. But I will say, and I don't want to, you know, I know you're a fan and, you know, you're also an analyst.
It's okay, go ahead.
I have seen this, and I love it. Let me just say this. I love the Chicago Bears and what they've assembled in Hard Knocks. I've fallen in love. I'm a sucker. But I have seen before where they've assembled, not the Bears, but teams have assembled big names. The acquisitions are so huge. You're like, yo, this is the dream team. We're looking at the Olympics dream team. And then what shows up during the season is something totally different. And then the analysis start to change. So I'm just saying to all those fans out there that are, you know, they own that smoke right now, that Bears smoke. I know it's good. You guys got it rolled up real tight. But I'm saying, please just temper your expectation.
The Bears smoke.
Yeah. I was just letting that evaporate for a second.
I'm with you.
Isaiah, you were shaking your head a little bit during that. Like, you don't want to buy, you want to allow the Bears maybe some wiggle room to grow into this?
You got to give them a little wiggle. The reason why is because whenever you stack a roster up like this and you have a quarterback that's coming in as a rookie, there's a lot of expectations already as being the number 1 pick overall. And then you throw on the fact that you stack his roster up to ensure that he has success. You couple that with a new coach and them trying to figure it out. Oh, and by the way, there just happens to be a bunch of personalities on that team that are used to being the number 1 targets and trying to make sure that they're all happy. There's going to be some bumps in the road. We don't know exactly how that's going to pan out, but guess what? We're all watching.